What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going through my predictions of Game Week 22 in the Premier League. I'm recording this before the kickoff, so it might be going up a bit late. I can only apologise for that. Nottingham Forest against Arsenal at the City Ground. I have gone with the 2-1 Arsenal win. I know this is a very tough game for them, and Nottingham Forest actually did win this fixture last season. But after that performance against Crystal Palace, I think Arsenal have to win here as well to keep that momentum going for that big clash against Liverpool coming up. Forest are still missing some key players. So the squad isn't what it could be, and I do still think they'll give Arsenal a very tough game, but Arsenal should be able to come through it with the victory. Fulham-Everton. Now in the reverse fixture, Everton had a goal disallowed for a really stupid foul on Leno. Never a foul, they should have got the goal, and they were the better team on that day. But since then, Fulham have definitely improved their performances, have got much better going forward. However, I think Everton have also grown into the season, and although they've been hit with some really big hurdles like the 10-point deduction and another potential points deduction, they've done very well, and I'm going with a 1-1 draw. Everton defensively have been quite good this season. Fulham have been quite good going forward, so it'll be a bit of a test for both sides. Luton Town against Brighton. Now Brighton won the reverse fixture 4-1 at the Amex. It was Luton's first ever game in the Premier League. I don't think that Luton will lose by that great a margin, but I do still think they'll lose. I'm going 2-1 to Brighton. Now Brighton have actually drawn the last two games 0-0. I don't think that'll be the case here. Once again, I do think it'll be very tight, mainly because Luton are at home. They're very good on their own patch. Brighton have looked much more solid defensively lately, and you know, Buonanotte is growing into this Brighton team now, which is brilliant. See, I love him, man. He's so good. He's going to be a superstar. And obviously, João Pedro, the former Watford man, scored against Luton last time out. He would love to score at Kenilworth Road, I'm sure. Crystal Palace against Sheffield United. I've gone with a 2-2 draw. Bit controversial, I know. Brereton Diaz made his Premier League debut for Sheffield United against West Ham, where he scored. He also missed a one-on-one horrendous shot, but he did do well overall. Elise is potentially back as well for Crystal Palace, which is a huge boost for him. And they've also signed a right back, which is a position they've needed desperately. And they've also agreed a deal for Morton from Blackburn, which is again another pretty problematic position for him. He's not going to be done before this game though. I just have a funny feeling about this game, man. Like Sheffield United look revitalised on the Wilder. They got a 2-2 draw last time out. Crystal Palace have looked really poor this season for the most part. And yeah, you know, I don't really understand what's happened, because defensively at the start of the season they were very good, and that's sort of just fallen apart now. If Sheffield United are going to get something, they're going to need Archer and Brereton Diaz to be very clinical with their chances. Obviously, I don't know who's going to play. He might bench Archer again. Maybe McBurney will be in the team. I don't know. But McAtee is also going to be a key player here. He's going to have to get the ball forward. I think Anderson will be a bit of a key player here as well. For Sheffield United, though, I think he's obviously very slow. So he's going to be the man that Archer needs to run off. Aston Villa against Newcastle. I've gone with a 1-1 draw. Bit controversial because Aston Villa have only dropped points in one home game this season. But I don't know. I just have the feeling Newcastle are going to do something here. Newcastle have been done quite dirty with the fixture scheduling here, because they only played away at Fulham a couple of days ago. To be fair, the same with Fulham then, right? I mean, they should be tired as well. But in Newcastle, back-to-back away days in a very short amount of time, there could be a bit of fatigue there, which has obviously impacted their season so far. Trippier could also potentially be out of this game. But they are getting Harvey Barnes back very soon. Callum Wilson should be back very soon as well, which is really positive news. Jacob Ramsey's still out for Villa, which is a real shame, because I think he's really, really good. And they're still trying to go in for Morgan Rogers. It's still not done. I think they had a £15 million bid submitted a couple of days ago. I'm not sure what's going on with that, if Middlesbrough want a bit more for him. And obviously Newcastle did win the reverse fixture at St James's Park 5-1 at the start of the season. Obviously, I don't think Newcastle are going to come to Villa Park and get a comprehensive win. A point here for Newcastle would be fantastic, because, like I said, Villa have only dropped points in one home game this season against Sheffield United. Now, a lot of those games so far are fit to be very close, but the next one, Manchester City against Burnley, I think it's going to be a whitewash. I'm going 6-1. I've given Burnley a goal just because I think late on 6-0, Man City might switch off, or they'll get a set piece and they'll get a goal like that. But I think Man City should run riot here. This is a perfect game from Burnley, arguably the worst team in the Premier League. I think they're actually the easiest to play against, especially if you're a good team. The return of Erling Haaland, supported by Doku and De Bruyne, who potentially could start their first games for quite a while. So they'll be welcoming their former goalkeeper James Trafford back, and I think he'll make a solid amount of saves. But Man City will just have that many shots that they're going to score so many. Tottenham Brentford, I'm predicting another goal fest. I've gone 4-2 to Tottenham, mainly because Brentford have so many players out injured and on AFCON as well, and Reguilon, one of their new signings, is on loan from Tottenham, so I don't think he can play. And Tottenham will be welcoming James Maddison. So he played against Man City for about 20 minutes, but he could be making his first start since November. And that was the start of November as well, so it's been a long time. I think he'll run the show. He's on the pitch, you know he's going to create, you know he can score as well. You know, he can score a 35-yard screamer. It's just so, I love watching him. He honestly might be my favourite player in the league. Against Man City, Werner made so many good runs that just weren't picked up by his teammates. Maddison will spot them and he'll play him in. With that being said, obviously Brentford are going to be much more compact, much more defensive than Man City were, but I still don't think it will matter. Obviously Tottenham could do a Tottenham and dominate, have 35 shots and lose 2-0 because Ivan Toney has 2 shots and scores in both. I've got Liverpool v Chelsea. I've gone with a 2-1 Liverpool win, mainly just because it's at Anfield and obviously it's the first Premier League game since Jurgen Klopp has announced that he'll be leaving at the end of the season. The atmosphere should be good. Before that news, I actually had a 1-1 in my head just because the last 5 Premier League games have ended in a draw. They had 2 cup finals that ended in draws and had to go to penalties. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see this end 1-1, and it's a little bit of a teaser for the 0-0 that's coming up in a month. And Chelsea will potentially be welcoming back Nkunku again from another injury, and also the right back Malo Gusto could be back. With it being in Liverpool, I don't think Chelsea have any chance of winning, but I could definitely see a draw. Alexander-Arnold should be back for this game as well. Potentially McAllister will be back, and even Alcantara could be back. We haven't seen him in ages. I honestly don't remember the last time he skipped football. West Ham United against Bournemouth, I've gone with a 2-1 win for the Irons. Bowen is now fully back. Kudus has returned from AFCON. Unfortunate for him in the way that he went out, but good for West Ham that he's back earlier than expected. They've also been linked with Jack Clarke, and I think he'd be phenomenal. Imagine a front four of Jack Clarke, Paqueta, Bowen and Kudus. That is amazing. Now that is potential top 4 quality. Honestly, like, it's really good. I don't know if they'll be able to pull it off because I'm pretty sure Sunderland will want at least 25 mil for him because he's been phenomenal in the Championship. I don't know if West Ham will be willing to pay that, but they have received a £15 million bid for Ben Rama, and he's tragic. So if you get him off and you put another 10 mil to Jack Clarke, I think that's a really good bit of business from the Irons. Bournemouth will be without Max Aarons, so one of my favourite players. Do really like him. That's a big shame, and they obviously lost against Liverpool last time out, lost against Tottenham the game before that. They drew with West Ham at the start of the season, but I do think that West Ham should be able to win at home here. Finally, Wolverhampton Wanderers against Manchester United. I've gone with another 2-1 win, and it's for Wolves. I think they'll get revenge for what happened at Old Trafford, where they were by far the better team and were very hard done by. They obviously got the Black Country Derby win over West Brom on Sunday morning, which was a really feisty game, man. Like, wow, like, that was a real good derby, man. Like, I didn't watch all of it because I had to go to QPR, but I watched the first half and I was so entertained. And Man Utd had a very easy draw away at Newport, and they almost bottled it, which was, I couldn't believe it, man. But Anthony had a very good game. Rashford had his off the pitch issues where he's gone clubbing for some reason. You're a professional footballer, you're not 20 years old, you're not 21, you're not even 22, like you're meant to be in your prime. He's like 25 now. Get your head together, man. What are you doing? You're getting paid 350k a week and you want to go clubbing? Come on, man. To be honest though, him not being involved I think is actually a very good thing for Man United, mainly just because I think he's a terrible player. Diallo needs to be getting chances as well, because in the very little cameo that he had a couple of weeks ago, he looked really good. So him, Garnacho, Højlund, great front three. I think Wolves should be able to take this. Honestly, I think Wolves will be disappointed if they don't win this. Wolves had some really good results against some big 6 sides this season at home. They beat Tottenham, they beat Chelsea, they beat Man City. The only time they lost was against Liverpool, and they were very good in the first half of that game as well. So if they don't win here, honestly, I think Anil will be very disappointed. Those are my predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you soon for another video.